Hi, this is Mary Beth, the Jersey Girl Crafts. My name is Mary Beth, as I said. I live in New Jersey at the Jersey Shore in the U.S. I live here with my boyfriend and my 4 cats. I'd like to welcome you to my podcast. If this is your first time, welcome, and I hope you enjoy. If you've joined me before, I want to say thank you for coming back. This is only episode number 6, and I believe my last episode was a while ago. It was over a month ago. I try and do this every other week, but the last one was August 18th. A lot has been going on. I actually, my bangs look like God knows what, but I dog sat and I didn't do any podcasting while I was there, and then I came back and life got in the way and I got busy, and then I got extremely busy when my sister came to visit right before she got married, and last weekend she got married. So every weekend we pretty much for the past month have had something going on. It was a beautiful wedding. She got married last Sunday at 11 o'clock in the morning on the beach, so it was a beautiful day. There was no bright sun at 11 o'clock. There was just enough. There was a little tiny breeze, well, a little bit more than a tiny breeze, but it was very nice, made for beautiful pictures. She married her best friend. She's been with him for a little while, and she planned everything, and she tried to make a lot of things on her own. She made all the centerpieces, and she always says she's not crafty, but I think she did such a beautiful job on everything that she did. If I could figure out how to edit, I'll put some pictures in towards the end, but I really don't know how to edit and put pictures in, so sorry. And I'm doing this on my phone, the podcast, so I'm not going to be able to just hold up my phone and show you pictures. I'm sorry. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, Instagram on Jersey Girl Crafts, and on Facebook, actually Facebook is really my private, but I do have a website on Facebook, the Jersey Girl Crafts. I don't have any of the wedding pictures up there, but I definitely do have it on my Instagram. Please follow me on there, and you can see the beautiful pictures of the wedding. We drove to Delaware, and we actually took the ferry on our way back. So we took the highway there and the ferry on the way back. My aunt actually came up from Florida, and she stayed for a couple of days in Delaware, so we were able to see her again. Everyone seemed to have a wonderful time. I know I did. And I got my nails done. Look how pretty. Let's see, there, that's better. The sparkle one right here has some purpley eggplant color in it. Let's see if I can move over. And then there's a lighter gray with sparkle, and then a darker gray. So I got basically 3 different colors on my nails. Since my outfit was eggplant color, the girls were in lavender. It was his daughter and my sister's daughter, my niece, and I was the maid of honor. So there were only 3 of us, and then his brother was the best man, and his son was the groomsman, along with his daughter's husband. So it was all family, a couple of really good friends that my sister grew up with and that he knew. She worked as a teacher in a Christian school, and the pastor from that school actually came from Virginia to Delaware to marry them. So it was very nice. Well, now to get into the podcast, other than my personal life, and my sister's wedding, but this podcast is about knitting, crochet, and whatever craftiness I come about. I do weave a little bit and dye my own yarn. I sew a little bit. So today I'm going to have some knitting, some crochet, and some hand-dyed yarn. And let's get into it. The first thing I want to show you is a few scarves that I finished. It's a woven scarf. It's called, let me see, I have it up here. I have to go in my history. It's called the Woven Cowl Scarf, and it's by Winding Road Crochet. She's got a really nice tutorial, very easy to follow, and it's so easy, this scarf. She does it in a 6 bulky weight, where I did mine in a 5, and I also did one in a 6. And the first one I'll show you is done in a 6, and it's Stitch Studio by Nicole. It's an AC Moore yarn, and this is a number 6, and it came out huge. And that's the scarf. Let me put it on. This is definitely one that's going to be for a bigger woman. Let me see if I can stand up just a little. It's definitely down here, which is way under my breasts, but it's going to definitely keep me warm, or someone warm. So I love the woven. I think if I did this again, I think what I did is, because she does it in a 6 and I did my other, my other ones in a 5, I think what happened is when I did the 5, I did about 8 extra stitches, and I think that's what I did with this yarn. This yarn is really beautifully soft. Like I said, it's an AC Moore yarn. Now you'll see the difference with this one. This one, oh, what yarn is it? I'm really not sure what yarn it is. I think it's another AC Moore yarn. It's definitely a 5 and not a 6, and you'll see the difference. Look at that. Definitely a better fit. It's not as bulky. It definitely will fit under a jacket. And let me see. Ugh. See, this goes right here to the under the breasts, and it fits the whole chest area and the fringes here. And I absolutely love the fit of this one. It's really beautiful. It's soft yarn. It's definitely an AC Moore yarn, but I don't remember the color. The tassels I actually did with my clover. This one I did for the blue and gray scarf because it's wider, and it did a nice, even though I cut some of the fringe off to make everything perfectly even, this works beautiful for any tassel. And then for this and all my other scarves, I actually used the smaller one. It's amazing, and there's directions on the back. I mean, literally, it's just wrapping it around. I didn't do this type of tassel, so I just wrapped it around, and then there's a groove right here at the bottom, and you can easily put your scissors in there and cut the yarn perfectly. And these little things slide, so you can make this even longer, and also with this one you can make it bigger. So that's the difference in the size. These are great. I would definitely recommend them, excuse me, for anyone who wants to do tassels. So there's that scarf. This yarn, I believe, is puzzle yarn. Let me take my glasses off. I can't see anything when they're off, but this is a very lightweight 5, but look at the colors in this. Is that not beautiful? And I actually love, doesn't match my outfit, but I love the colors in this and the kind of mixture of colors is beautiful. The tassels, again, I did on that tassel thing, and it comes out beautiful. See if I can get a better so you can see all the colors. It's come out a little light. Right there is about the color, but it's still a little bit darker here than what's showing on the camera. But you can see all the different colors in here. Absolutely beautiful. And then the next one, I'm not going to put it on because it's getting too hot. This one is a scarfy yarn. I love this one. I think it's beautiful. It's a blue and gold. Again, this is coming out a little lighter. It's more this color. Then the other one, this one I actually did, it was a different pattern. It was, I don't have the pattern anymore. This is the first one I've ever done. And I need to find this pattern because I think it's beautiful. And you'll notice with this scarf, you're working basically this way. So you can see the way it's going this way. But with the first scarf I made, that I can't find the pattern to, see how it's a little different? And it's worked this way. And the difference also is right here you have more of an edging than you do on the other one. And this is definitely more, I would say, a little more secure here than this one. But this one came out beautiful. But this is the first one I ever did. And I think the colors in it are beautiful. And for the fall, it's definitely perfect. For a light sweater to go over it. And that's all the scarves I've had for this. I did make 2 black ones out of Lion Brand woolies. And they came out beautiful. And in this one I have 4 of them made. In the gold and navy I actually have 3 of them made. So I definitely have a lot of these scarves made. I had a couple of orders at work when they saw that scarf and they loved it. So I have a few orders I'm trying to get done. The blue and gray right here is actually for someone at work, along with the I forget which other ones, but she definitely wants them. And then the other one I'm making, wait one sec, this is actually the yarn I used for that big blue and gray. And as you can see, it's a number 6. Look at the colors in that. That's the next one I want to use. but I definitely want to make sure I use less stitches than I did with the number 5 yarn. Because I think that one, the blue and gray, came out a little too big. But if it's really cold out, it's definitely going to be a warm scarf. Next thing I wanted to talk about was socks I'm making for my mom. I believe I might have shown the last time. Or the time before that, I don't remember. I actually, when I went to the wedding and I was with my mom, I had her try it on before I started the next sock. And it's made with a Malabrigo yarn. I'm not sure of the colorway because I lost the bands. And I'm using 2 different colors. So that kind of bites. So this is the sock for my mom. I did, where did I start? I started cuff down. And then I did the heel flap and gusset. And then I went down to a Kitchener toe. But it kind of went a little pointy. It's not too bad, but it's definitely pointy. So I'm going to try and have to, because my mom said it fit perfectly. She's got a size, I want to say US 10 shoe she wears, so that fit perfectly for her. I'm not sure what I did stitch wise, I have to look. The pattern actually is a Marley Bird pattern. My first sock. I've made a couple of these now and I really love it. They're easy. It's with a worsted weight yarn. So here's the wine color yarn. And it's a nice thick worsted weight, and I don't have to worry about tiny little needles because they're done with, I believe, a 7 knitting needle. So very easy, and they're in my Wonder Woman bag that I got from 100 Ravens when I went to the Allentown, Pennsylvania Yarn Festival. 100 Ravens was there. No, I'm lying. This was 2 years ago when I went to Connecticut to Stitches United. That was the first time I saw 100 Ravens, and I fell in love with their yarn. And I bought this along with, it's got, I think it might have navy in it, but it definitely has burgundy and gray. It was a fingering weight yarn. It was called, I think it was fingering. I could be lying on that one too. But the name of the yarn, I'll never forget, was Diana Prince. Hence, the Wonder Woman bag. So, I am going to do that other sock. Hopefully, by next week. The next thing I'm doing right now is a hat for the boyfriend. And this bag I got off of eBay, and I don't remember who the maker is. It's a beautifully made bag. It's thick and soft, and it's got kitty cats, and it's got a nice drawstring, but the material is so thick, and I'm thinking it definitely has some kind of, it's got really pretty polka dot inside. It's got some kind of a, what's it called? The stuff you put on fabric. I'm brain dead. And I use it from when I make my own bags. But I have no clue what it's called now because my brain just went on me. But anyhow, it's got that. I'll probably remember what I want to say like halfway through, so I'll come back. Making Daniel, the boyfriend, a hat, and it's with excuse me, Premier Serenity sock, and I had gotten it on clearance. I believe the clearance was 2 years ago, maybe, when I went to Hobby Lobby. That could be the clearance, or it could be, I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't Hobby Lobby. But I got it, and it says the colorway, it's a #1 yarn, and it says the color is navy. It does not in any way look navy. It looks gray. I've worked on this outside in the sunlight, inside in the sunlight, and I've worked under lamps, and at no point does this ever look navy. See if it'll, I don't think it's gonna focus. I don't know why these don't focus. And I love my camera. It usually focuses nicely. But it says navy. This does not look navy. It looks charcoal. Oh look. Now it focuses, but it's so far away from the camera. But anyhow, so I'm making this hat. It's, like I said, a fingering weight yarn. It's #1. And I am using my Chow, and I believe it is a 2 or 3. Let me see, sorry. Oh. It's a US 3. Again, we're not going to focus. So it's a Chow US 3, 16-inch circular. That's what I make all my hats on. I love it. When I make socks, though, however, I do prefer the Haya, because when I'm making socks with double pointed needles, the Chow seems to pinch my, like, keep poking into my finger because I push the needle through. I mean the needle. Excuse me. I push the needle through, so usually winds up hurting my finger. So I usually, when I'm doing socks, I go to the Haya. But other than that, I love my Chow. So this yarn is really, really soft. It is, what is it? 50% superwash merino, 25 rayon, made from bamboo, and 25 nylon. It's extremely soft. I love it. It's definitely not itchy if I put it next to my face. And I think he's really going to love this in a couple of months. Right now it's been in the 80s, like the high 80s. I think we hit 87 or 89 today. And we went to the flea market auction to sell a few things because we're going through stuff in the house. And it was so hot. We got there at, I want to say 6:30 this morning. And the auction opens at 8:30. And then we went and started selling stuff. But it was so hot that I think people stopped coming, because once it hit about 11 o'clock, nobody else was showing up. And we were supposed to stay until 2, but at noon we decided it was just too hot in the sun. I couldn't get out of the sun. He takes the sun a lot better than I do. But we decided just to leave. Now the last thing I'm going to show, it's really not much. I was flipping through the internet and Hooked by Robin came on. I love her videos. She has really, really great tutorials. She has tutorials on how to crochet. I believe knit also, but definitely crochet. Different stitches you could do. And she's got tutorials for other things too. She has, what's it called? I am really not doing good today with words and thinking. She's got a blanket that is absolutely beautiful. Let me see if I can find it. Because this blanket that she has, it's a crocheted blanket. And where is she? I was just watching her. I have to go down so far. I did a mermaid that is in the other room actually. No, it's sold. I sold it at the last craft fair. She is a mermaid. Let me see if I can show you a little bit of her stuff. Right there. It's a mermaid. That's one of her videos. I just moved the whole camera around. Hopefully you were able to see it. But it's a kitty cat mermaid. So it's a mermaid. The video was so perfect to follow. And it came out so cute. It sold like instantly at the craft fair. And let's see. Oh, the lotus flower. That was the blanket. I didn't quite finish it. I know I was starting with one thing and I went to 5 others. Wait 1 second. All right. So the lotus flower blanket I have to get back into and I have to figure out where I left off. It was my first sheepsies yarn. And I was terrified to use it because it's so thin. I didn't think I'd ever be able to do it. But it's all crocheted. This is the lotus flower blanket. Look at the stitching on that. Well, that's the wrong side, but look at the stitches on that. It's so pretty. Once you really, really get into it, it just flies. But the yarn is so thin I'm using. I stopped doing it and then I just didn't get back into it. But this is a beautiful blanket from Hooked by Robin. And then one of the other things I did Hooked by Robin was I started, it was a Hexagon motif blanket. I started one for my mother in shades of black and gray. No, it was white, black, and gray. And it's absolutely beautiful. I started it, but I'm not really good on like granny square blankets or anything because I get bored. So I didn't finish that. That's in a bag. So if you can tell, I'm not very good at blankets because I get bored. The lotus flower blanket was beautiful, but I'm still making it. And I'll tell you, I started it. Let's see, Daniel's niece was born in June. I want to say June of 2018. She was just a year in June 2019. Well, I started this about 6 months before his sister had the baby. So I've been doing it for a while. Well, I was really, really good on doing it constantly, and then I just stopped because other things catch my eye, and I just want to try. So I'm not good at blankets, but anyhow, Hooked by Robin, she had just put up a video on how to do a scrunchie, and I've done them in the past, but hers looked really, really pretty, and she did it with a velvet yarn. She did it with Barnett velvet. I actually made a scrunchie from Premier Parfait, and it's a number 5 yarn, and the color is teal. So there's the color, teal, and here's my scrunchie. It's really so easy. I was done in no time, but I want to make definitely a few more of these. It took me, I don't know, 15 minutes and I was done. So I definitely want to do more of these. I definitely have more of the velvet type yarn. I want to do more for Christmas. So that is the scrunchie I finished, because I got tired of doing the hat that I did all day at the flea market auction. So I got my bangs cut right before my sister's wedding, and I'm not used to bangs anymore. And plus I took a shower after the auction because I just felt so dirty from all that dirt and sand and everything else at the auction. So I didn't blow dry my hair. I kind of just let it go natural, and this is what I ended up with. So I look like I don't know what tonight. So what else did I want to tell you and show you? I'm trying to get caught up on all of the podcasts that I like to watch. I just caught up with Kim, the Blue Cherub 82, and I want to say, oh, I'm sure she's not watching, but who was it? Oh no, again, brain's not working. I think it's Tobin's birthday. So if you're watching, Kim, happy birthday to Tobin. His birthday is going to be on Monday. So I just caught up on her videos. I think I'm about a week and a half behind on most videos. Debbie, the Canadian crocheter, I watched one of hers today when we got back from the auction, because the boyfriend was so tired and hot and everything that he took a nap. So while he took a nap, I just knit and watched a few podcasts. And then I just found one, HG Designs Crochet Podcast. I just found her this evening, and she knits and crochets, and one of her recent videos, I'm not sure what episode she's on. I know she started episode 1 August of 2017. So I definitely have a few of those to catch up on, since I only watched, well, I'm in the middle of episode 1. Because after I saw her one that she made, I think about a week or two ago, I decided to go back and watch it from the beginning. I'm really enjoying her podcast, and it's HG Design Crochet Podcast. She does really beautiful work, and in the video I had just watched, it was all about the granny square. She does granny square cardigan, she did a granny square sweater, she did granny square bag she's making, everything granny square, and the granny squares are very beautiful. So I know she said she was going to get some of her patterns up. I think I would like to get the bag and try that once she writes up the pattern and gets it tested. I think I really would like to do that. So if you want something new to watch that you like, where you like crochet and knit, I know in episode 1 she's talking a little bit about knitting, and she's just learning how to do Judy's magic loop. She's doing 2 socks at a time, and I think she's almost done with her first pair of socks, doing 2 at a time, and she's only a little bit past the toe, I think, on her second pair, and then she went to a more adventurous beginner sock, and I'm not sure who the designers were that she got it from, but I can barely do my first sock by Marley Bird with a worsted weight, never mind with a fingering weight sock yarn, and it's her first couple of socks. It's amazing. I wish I could be that adventurous, but I tried it with the sock yarn, and I don't know, I'm just like all thumbs with it for some reason. But I can do a hat. I think it has something to do with the needles, being that, I don't know, maybe I have to try it with the magic loop rather than with the double pointed, because maybe the DPNs is what is messing me up. I do have, let me show you, sorry, the little Chogu, and it's really cute. It's like this little mini set that you can make socks. It's got all these little needles to do it in the round with little tiny circular needles, and it's the perfect size for, and I know Hannah from, oh brain, Cozy Cottage. I know she uses these. I had gotten them, and then I noticed she had gotten them, and she makes socks on these. So maybe if I could figure out how to make them on these, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I'm going to figure it out one of these days. I actually did dye some yarn before going away to my sister's. Actually, when did I dye the yarn? I think it was before I went to dog sit. Or maybe right after, when I got home from dog sitting. And the yarn is a superwash merino, silk, and baby alpaca. And these are the yarns I dyed. They're a worsted weight. I just threw them on here for easy storage for the moment, because like I said, life has been busy. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. I probably should have paused. Now I'm red. Anyhow, so this is one of the ones I dyed, and it's a beautiful silver gray into a lighter gray. It really, I think, came out beautiful. This yarn is one of the softest yarns I've used. Let me see if I can get it there. I think this came out beautiful. It's soft. I don't know if it's the silk or the baby alpaca that makes it so soft, but I want to make everything out of this. I want to sell the yarn, but this is so beautiful. I want it all for me. And in that color, I made 2. The next color I made, I have all these on zip ties. around the hanger. I have a clothing rack that I usually leave outside, and that's how I dry them. I have a screen tent that I put outside, and then I put it in there. I have to really rewind all of this. This, I think, came out beautiful. This, I used a cherry and a brick red together, and then I used a really dark green, and it wound up, look at that green, like it just went all different shades. It looks, to me, it looks so vintage and so beautiful. And you go into these like muted, beautiful colors. So I have 2 of those I did. I just want to put my zip ties back on before I lose them, because I will lose them. So I did 2 of those. And then I did, oh, this is heavy. 2, I think I did 2 of every color. I did. Trying to get the zip tie off of this. The next one I did was just shades of blue, and it goes from a really, really light to a little darker blue to really much darker. And this, if I can get this all wrapped up, I think came out very pretty too, because you have all the nice light colors, and then you go to the darker color. So that's that yarn. It's, you can almost see the sheen in here. It's so pretty. So pretty. And those colors are coming out pretty true to what it is. Then I have 2 more colors. I've got, which the boyfriend said this one is his favorite. I almost want to agree, but I like that vintagey Christmas one a lot. All right, this one is like, this is coming out a little more green, but it's like a mint green, really light mint green, almost white. And that was that one. This is coming out a little bit brighter than it is. Or actually a little darker, not brighter. Yeah, I guess this is about what color it is. A little bit lighter maybe in person. Sorry. Some of the wool. So yeah. This is the boyfriend's favorite. He likes that the best. And I have to admit, I do like this color a lot. Then the last one, oh no, the hanger picked up all the other yarn on the floor. I've been dropping everything to show you. And well, I dropped it. The next one is different shades of green. I used a leaf green and that's this one. See if I can get this to show you all the colors. So that's this one. This one I think is really, really pretty too. The green and like I said, I really like this. I think I like all the colors that happened, but my favorite by far is this one. I don't know, when I see that together, I just think of a vintage Christmas. And I just think it's so pretty. Look at that. So I think this is going to stripe nicely if I do a hat. So I just might do a hat out of this. I think it will be beautiful for Christmas. So I think that's it, and we're 46 minutes into this video. If you're not bored of me now, I hope you stuck through it, and I appreciate if you did. Really appreciate if you did. I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again. And please, if you have a podcast out there, let me know. I would be more than happy to watch it and give a shout out. So have a wonderful evening, and it's now 9:49, so I did this, I just said 46 minutes. It's really late for me, and I've been up since 4:15 this morning, so I'm tired. So I want to say thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.